My first experience of the unique sound of a Les Paul guitar came in 1965 with John Mayall's 45 RPM I'm Your Witch Doctor, and then the 1966 Beano album. Influenced by hearing John Mayall's records of Freddie King, photographed using a P90 equipped Les Paul Gold Top, Mayall's guitarist Eric Clapton had sought out a similar guitar in London. He didn't find Freddie's Gold Top, but he did find a then considered old-fashioned brown, second-hand 1959 or 60 Les Paul Standard, with powerful, patent-applied-for humbucking pickups. This then discontinued guitar would eventually reappear and soon become a dominant force in the emerging sound of rock guitar. For guitar players, the Les Paul is an iconic guitar. But Lester Polfuss, a country musician in the 1940s, dreamt of being a guitarist to the first pop star, Bing Crosby, and the first girl band, the Andrews Sisters. And he did it. He was also the first to use multi-track recording, and the first to successfully employ this in the 1950s, when he and Mary Ford notched up many chart hits. Ironically, one of the first tunes recorded by Lester on his new Les Paul guitar was a blues, released as a 78 RPM shellac in June 1953. Writing my 10 books on guitar, I was fortunate to speak personally with many great players, but approaching Lester was a daunting pilgrimage. I was given Lester's home phone number by my great music teacher, Brendan McCormack, who always advised, go to the source. I rang Lester's number with great trepidation, and to my shock, Lester answered in person.
Hi.
Hello, Lester. How are you doing?
Good.
Thank you for agreeing to do this. It's fantastic.
Glad to do it.
Les immediately liked the idea of my Les Paul book and wanted to do an interview there and then. I demurred, but rang him back later, having collected my thoughts. We immediately had a rapport. I think the reason we got on so well is his love of electronics and recorded sound. I'd spent 15 years as a BBC sound engineer in the 1970s, and Lester had pretty well invented my job back in the 1940s. He began by telling me about a complaint from an audience member at a gig in a drive-in cinema, where Lester was singing down a microphone but playing an acoustic guitar.
When you first started looking at the idea of a solid body electric guitar, I think in 1941, what was the driver there? What was the prime objective that you were seeking there?
The fellow sent a note to the car hop saying to me that me singing on the telephone, playing the harmonica, talking, was fine. And the only thing that wasn't loud enough was the guitar.
Lester's biggest challenge was the acoustic feedback that occurred when putting a microphone close to an acoustic guitar.
So by taking an acoustical guitar and filling it full of rags and socks and shorts and whatever, tablecloth, that partially got rid of some of it. I filled it with plaster Paris and that got rid of more of it. But it didn't take me but a second longer to figure out that there's only one way to do it. And that's to find something that would restrict any other movement other than the string, and it happened to be the railroad track that was not going to contribute any other sounds other than the string vibrating.
Something Lester told me about in depth was the influence of the guitar neck on the vibration of strings. He felt this was the most important issue and goes back to his original experiments with his log guitars. Lester took the scientific approach to the development of an electric guitar, isolating the string and pickup relationship with the least interference as the ideal. He believed the rigidity of a railroad track was the ultimate goal. This would lead to the solid mahogany neck and ebony fingerboard on many Les Paul guitars, giving Lester his distinctive, bright and clear sound.
What wasn't included was the neck. And the neck on all guitars is contributing most of the coloration of the instrument. Neck is the most important part of that guitar, and that will resonate, and that will give you the characteristic sounds. So I finally devised a way of making the 2x4 and taking it to the different companies, and they all laughed at it, looked at it, kidded about it and everything else. No one took it serious. The broomstick with the pickup.
Les was a tinkerer. Even in the 1980s, he was still forensically dissecting his guitars, always searching for that elusive new sound. You may not be inclined to dissect your guitar, but every Les Paul deserves a setup, and now you can do that yourself. All the tools are easily available online, and my book will give you all the advice and tips to achieve your perfect setup. I want to help, so if you have any specific problems with your guitar, drop me an email and I will point you in the right direction. As Lester said to me, try to be a good person and have a good time doing it.